In the pantheon of classic video games, few titles are as iconic or influential as The Legend of Zelda. Released in 1986 by Nintendo for the Nintendo Entertainment System, this groundbreaking action-adventure game was the brainchild of the legendary Shigeru Miyamoto and Takashi Tezuka, with music composed by the equally legendary Koji Kondo. The game introduced players to the mythical land of Hyrule, a sprawling world filled with secrets, treasures, and a sense of wonder that few games had captured before. At its heart was the courageous young hero, Link, on a quest to rescue Princess Zelda from the clutches of the evil sorcerer Ganon, who had stolen the Triforce of Power. The game's innovative design featured an open world that encouraged exploration, a non-linear structure that allowed players to tackle dungeons in various orders, and a save system that enabled long-term progression revolutionary features for its time. The Legend of Zelda quickly became a benchmark for adventure games, setting the stage for one of the most beloved franchises in gaming history. It captivated players with its blend of puzzle solving, combat, and exploration, all wrapped in a narrative rich with lore and mystique. This introduction serves as a love letter to the game's enduring legacy and the countless adventures it has inspired over the decades. So, grab your wooden sword and shield and let's journey back to where it all began. The Legend of Zelda tells a timeless tale of heroism, courage, and the eternal struggle between good and evil. The story begins in the mystical land of Hyrule, a kingdom once at peace, now threatened by the dark forces of the malevolent Ganon. To prevent Ganon from obtaining the complete Triforce and plunging Hyrule into darkness, Princess Zelda, the guardian of the Triforce of Wisdom, divides her piece into 8 fragments and hides them across the land. Enter Link, a young adventurer with a courageous heart and an unyielding spirit. Link learns of the dire situation and resolves to save Princess Zelda and restore peace to Hyrule. Armed with a wooden sword and a simple shield, he sets out on an epic quest to recover the 8 fragments of the Triforce of Wisdom. Along the way, Link must traverse treacherous terrain, navigate intricate dungeons, and battle fierce enemies from the crafty moblins to the fearsome darknuts. Each dungeon is a labyrinthine challenge, filled with puzzles, traps, and formidable bosses guarding the fragments. As Link gathers the Triforce pieces, he grows stronger, acquiring new weapons and tools such as the iconic boomerang, bow, and bombs, each vital for overcoming obstacles and enemies. The story unfolds with a minimalist yet captivating narrative, conveyed through the game's immersive world and the scattered hints left by wise old men, mysterious shopkeepers, and ancient texts. The story of The Legend of Zelda is a classic hero's journey. It captures the essence of adventure, the struggle against overwhelming odds, and the triumph of good over evil. The game's narrative, though simple by today's standards, laid the foundation for a vast and intricate lore that has expanded across numerous sequels and spin-offs, making The Legend of Zelda not just a game, but a cornerstone of gaming culture. The gameplay of The Legend of Zelda is a masterclass in open-world design and player-driven exploration, especially for its time. Unlike many games of the era which followed linear paths, The Legend of Zelda presented players with a vast, interconnected world to explore at their own pace. This non-linear approach was revolutionary, giving players the freedom to tackle dungeons and challenges in various orders, provided they had the necessary items and equipment. Players control Link, the game's hero, from a top-down perspective, navigating through a grid-based overworld in a series of labyrinthine dungeons. The overworld is dotted with forests, lakes, mountains, and secret-filled grottos. Link starts with basic equipment, a wooden sword, and a small shield, but can acquire a plethora of items to aid in his quest. These items include heart containers, which increase his health, and various weapons and tools such as the boomerang bombs, the bow, and the magical boomerang. Each item opens new gameplay possibilities, often allowing access to previously unreachable areas, or providing an edge in combat. Combat in The Legend of Zelda is simple yet engaging, requiring both timing and strategy. Players must navigate through screens filled with enemies, each with unique attack patterns and weaknesses. A significant part of the gameplay revolves around solving puzzles within the game's dungeons. These dungeons are the heart of the adventure, each one progressively more complex and challenging. Players must find keys to unlock doors, push blocks to reveal hidden passages, and defeat bosses to gain pieces of the Triforce of Wisdom. The dungeon design is intricate, often requiring the use of newly acquired items to progress. For instance, a raft might be necessary to cross a river, or a stepladder to bridge small gaps. The game rewards curiosity and thorough exploration, as many secrets and items are hidden behind cleverly designed puzzles or destructible walls. One of the most innovative aspects of the game is its use of a save system, a rarity at the time which allowed players to save their progress and return to their adventure later. This feature, coupled with the game's expansive world and challenging gameplay, encouraged players to take their time exploring every nook and cranny of Hyrule. Overall, the gameplay of The Legend of Zelda is a delicate balance of exploration, combat, and puzzle solving. It set a new standard for the adventure genre and introduced gameplay elements that would become staples in future games. Its legacy is evident in the countless titles that have drawn inspiration from its pioneering design, making it a timeless classic that continues to capture the imagination of players. The music of The Legend of Zelda is not just a backdrop, but a core component of the game's atmosphere and emotional impact, composed by Koji Kondo. The soundtrack of The Legend of Zelda has become legendary in its own right. It's remarkable how a game from the 8-bit era, with its technical limitations, could produce such memorable and evocative melodies that still resonate with players today. The game's main theme, often referred to simply as the overworld theme, is an upbeat, adventurous tune that plays as players traverse the vast land of Hyrule. This piece of music has become synonymous with the series and is instantly recognizable even to those who might not be familiar with the game itself. Its triumphant and spirited melody perfectly captures the sense of exploration and adventure, embodying Link's heroic journey. This theme sets the tone for the entire game, encouraging players to venture forth into the unknown with courage and determination. Contrasting with the overworld theme, the music inside the game's dungeons is darker and more atmospheric. The dungeon theme uses a repetitive, tense melody that evokes a sense of danger and mystery. This minimalistic approach to the dungeon music creates an eerie atmosphere, heightening the player's sense of suspense and caution as they navigate through the labyrinthine halls, facing off against formidable enemies and solving challenging puzzles. The stark difference between the upbeat overworld and the ominous dungeon themes reflects the dual nature of the game's exploration, both the wonder of discovery and the perils that lie beneath. The music of The Legend of Zelda is a testament to Koji Kondo's genius in using simple, memorable melodies to evoke a wide range of emotions and enhance the gameplay experience. Despite the limitations of the hardware, which could only produce basic waveforms and a limited number of simultaneous sounds, Kondo's compositions managed to convey a rich tapestry of moods, from the exhilaration of adventure to the dread of unknown dangers. Over the years, the music of The Legend of Zelda has transcended the game itself, becoming an integral part of gaming culture. It has been reimagined in countless concerts, orchestral performances, and remixes, solidifying its place as one of the most iconic soundtracks in video game history. The timeless quality of these compositions continues to enchant new generations of players, proving that great music can elevate a game to legendary status. The legacy of The Legend of Zelda is monumental, marking a cornerstone in the history of video games and setting a high standard for adventure games to come. This pioneering title not only launched one of Nintendo's most beloved franchises, but also introduced innovative gameplay mechanics and design philosophies that would influence countless games across all genres. Its impact is still felt today, more than 3 decades after its initial release, as it continues to inspire game developers and captivate players around the world. One of the most significant aspects of The Legend of Zelda's legacy is its introduction of an open-world format. The game provided a vast, non-linear world that encouraged exploration and rewarded curiosity, a stark departure from the linear progression common in games of that era. Another groundbreaking feature was the implementation of a save system, a rarity at the time. Prior to The Legend of Zelda, many games required players to complete them in a single session, as there was no way to save progress. The inclusion of a battery-back save function in the cartridge was revolutionary, enabling players to save their game and return to their adventure later. The game's narrative structure, though simple, introduced players to a rich lore and a compelling hero's journey. The story of Link, Princess Zelda, and Ganon has become a timeless tale of good versus evil, with themes of courage, wisdom, and power. The influence of The Legend of Zelda extends beyond its own franchise. Its gameplay mechanics, such as item-based progression, dungeon exploration, and puzzle solving, have been emulated and refined in countless other games. The Legend of Zelda also left a lasting mark on the cultural landscape. Its music, iconic sound effects, and visual style have become ingrained in popular culture. The overworld theme is one of the most recognizable pieces of video game music, and the game's sound effects, such as the secret discovery chime, are instantly familiar to fans. The series has inspired a dedicated fan base, with conventions, fan art, and even symphony concerts celebrating its music and lore. The game's influence is evident in modern media, from references in television shows and movies to the influence seen in other games and genres. The legacy of The Legend of Zelda is profound and far-reaching. It revolutionized game design, introduced enduring characters and lore, and set the standard for adventure games. Its innovations in gameplay, narrative, and world building have left an indelible mark on the industry, making it not only a beloved classic, but also a seminal work in the evolution of video game. The game's influence continues to resonate, proving that a great adventure, no matter how old, can always inspire new generations. Thank you for joining us. If you like this deep dive into the retro world of The Legend of Zelda, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Until next time, keep questing and keep gaming.